Hey everybody, it's the Casual Movie Guy here. Time to review Lucy. It's not Lucy? Oh, okay, apparently we're reviewing The Lazarus Effect. Alright guys, this film stars Mark Duplass and Olivia Wilde as the two leads in this film. It also has Evan Peters in it and a few other people who I don't really care about. Also, the one girl, the redhead, she did a terrible job at acting. She had the acting skills of an amateur porn star. And if you didn't get the reference at the beginning of this video, if you haven't seen Lucy, basically that film talks about, unlocking more than 10% of your brain power. And this movie, that's one of the plots points in it. So as soon as I heard that in the film, it just reminded me of Lucy, another terrible movie. So this, to me, was like the horror version of Lucy, which is not a good thing at all. Now, the premise of this film is actually a very interesting one. Bringing someone back from the dead is always a cool idea and something interesting to talk about and to see on screen. But the execution in this film is awful. Now, the directing job was not bad. I enjoyed the imagery. I loved the use of lighting. Both of those were excellent in this film. I guess you could say I enjoyed the cinematography, but the lighting and the imagery were very good in this film. Very creepy pictures, an excellent use of when to use lighting and when not to use certain lightings. That was excellent. And the acting of Olivia Wilde and Mark Duplass, who are the two leads, and also Evan Peters, all three of them did a pretty decent job because they're all, not seasoned actors per se, but they've had a few gigs, so they know what they're doing. But the rest of them were pretty terrible in this film. And some of the things that happen in this movie just don't make sense. Like, I get that she comes back from the dead and, something's going to be wrong with her, and that's the horror film. But, it just didn't make sense how she was able to suddenly become telepathic. She was able to move objects and stuff like that. And it just, it didn't make any sense to me. It was a good idea for a story, maybe it'd make a great short film, but to make a feature-length film about this, it didn't have enough content to really make a full-length movie. And that's where this film suffers. It felt very long, and it wasn't, which is a huge problem. This movie was laughably bad. Not in a good way, but a bad way. It just was so stupid. Some of the stuff that happens is just, it doesn't make any sense. And that's okay in movies because they're movies. They don't have to make sense. But when it's so blatant and easy to see, that is a huge problem in a movie. There isn't really much to say about this movie. It's really not worth your time. It's another crappy Hollywood film that is a huge waste of time and money. I wouldn't recommend seeing it or even renting it. If you want to score, I'm going to give this movie a 3 out of 11. It is not on the level of crap that 50 Shades of Grey was on, but this movie is probably the worst horror movie I've seen all year long. Even worse than The Woman in Black 2. I know I talked a lot more crap on The Woman in Black 2, but that film just kind of made me mad because I enjoyed the original. And since this movie is a standalone film, and I really hope we don't get any sequels for it, I'm going to judge this film a little more harshly because it didn't have anything to live up to. But overall, terrible film. I would not recommend seeing it. At this point, I just really want one of the old directors to come back, like Wes Craven or John Carpenter. Let them make a horror movie again, because the directors in Hollywood nowadays, I'm not saying that all the Hollywood movies that are horror-based are bad, but a majority of them are. It's just directors nowadays don't know how to use jump scares appropriately, and they don't know how to use suspense, and they need to fix that. And they need to find directors who know how to use suspense, and they know how to direct a horror film the right way. That's really all I have to say for today. Not too much to say about this film, but if you want to go see it, there's nothing I can really say that's going to stop you. But I strongly recommend you use your time in a better fashion. Nothing else I'm really going to say. I'm the Casual Movie Guy. If you want to hear more from me, you should hit that subscribe button, and I'm out.